Hello students, how are you all? I hope all of you are doing fine. I also hope that all of you are doing the best that you can do in order to enrich yourself academically. Well, in today's video, I'm going to discuss the poem with you, Rain on the Roof, which is written by Coed Skinny. And this is the book that I'm referring to, Beehive. This is the poem which is after the third unit of your text. And there are three stanzas in this poem. So I'll be just keep on referring to the poem here in the textbook with me and try to discuss with you all the three stanzas today. You are recommended to keep a notebook with you, a rough notebook, if possible, a pencil, or at least the textbook. If you have the textbook with you, that will really be helpful because then you can follow me as I'm talking to you, looking at the lines and picking up the words from the poem. So please have your books with you as I'm reading the text out to you and I'm trying to interpret the text to you. And also understand that the interpretation that I'm giving to you is my own subjective interpretation of the poem. You are free to interpret the poem in your own terms, provided you're keeping yourself within the broader context of the poem. And let us begin with today's content. So, the poem is Rain on the Roof. Before we actually move on to the poem, by the title itself, you would get to know that the poem is about rain, and all of you know what rain is, right? Being a natural phenomena, rain, I must say, is one of the natural phenomena which is very widely used, or which is very widely praised and explained and used as a matter of subject in the poems and in other forms of literature like prose, drama, or any other genre. What happens is that rain is something which always, most of the times, if it is in moderate quantities, it always have a very positive effect on human mind or and on the other forms of life on the planet. Rain is extremely important. I need not actually tell you what are the important what are the importance of the rains, but I must tell you that without rains, life cannot in any way thrive upon earth. Uh, Therefore, rain is one such phenomena which has widely been used by many of the writers across the world to talk about the beauty of nature and to talk about the essentiality that beauty brings to us, the essentiality of living conditions actually. The fact that we all are alive today is only because of rain. Okay, so it if it is in moderate quantities, it most of the times always have a very positive psychological effect for the human mind. So this is what also the poem is about. In the three stanzas, if you read the stanza, and I just read out to you in a while, if you read these three stanzas, you see that in the first stanza, the poet talks about, or the speaker is describing the rain that has just started. In the second stanza, it talks about the effect it has on his mind. And in this particular case, in this particular poem, the effect that rain has on the speaker's mind is that it brings back certain memories. Now, and in the third stanza, the memory is of particularly of his or her mother, the speaker's mother. And once again, like rain has an important place in the in thriving the life on this planet. Similarly, mother has a very pivotal role in each and every individual's um, life. Your mothers may be educated, sometimes they might not be highly educated. Some of the mothers could be extremely beautiful, some of a little less beautiful. Some of the mothers could be very strict, some of them are very loving and lenient. But whatever kind your mother is always a mother, and she just irreplaceable by any other individual on this on this planet or in this world. So mother has a very important place in our hearts, in all of us our hearts, because we have begun our life with her before beginning our life. So she had nurtured us in her body for approximately months and months together. And when we come, it's as if we are linked with her body. We have actually kind of functioned on her flesh, on her body, on her blood, on her oxygen that she has just she has intake. What I'm trying to make you understand is that mother is extremely important. Now you must understand that, like rain is important for the planet, mother is important for an individual. And the coming of the rain is often seen, or in this particular poem, is seen as coming up of a very beautiful memory into the speaker's mind. And this particular memory is that of the mother who is probably not alive, or maybe even if she's alive, probably she is not with the speaker right now at the time of the description. So memory plays an important role in human existence once again. Why? Because memory keeps you in touch with your past, and it is very important for you to feel belonged. You feel belonged only when you have memories. Memories is a kind of thing which, which kind of make a bridge between your present times and your past times. Just imagine if you just get up one fine day having forgotten everything that has happened to you till the last night. Obviously, your life will suddenly lose all the meanings. Okay, it's like you have to, once again reconstruct your life moment by moment. So you have a sense of meaning of your life. You, as in each and every individual, have a sense of life, or a sense of the meaning of life, because it has been constructed by us, consciously, unconsciously, knowingly, or accidentally, by moment. So look at three important elements that are being linked in this poem, which some, I would say, makes it extremely beautiful. Why this poem is extremely beautiful? Because first, the poet talks about the rain, which is in itself very beautiful, which brings life to earth, which which gives existence, which gives meaning to our existence. Second important thing is that because of that rain comes a psychological effect. It has a psychological effect on human mind, and it pushes human mind to go back in the past, or probably it pushes it to imagine some things. Now this beauty which is outside of us, because rain is outside, isn't it? It is outside of you. It is raining outside in the atmosphere or in the environment around you. It has caused a change which is inside. The beauty which is outside has caused a beauty which is inside, which it has brought a very beautiful memory of the mother back into the head of the speaker. And that is why it is saying that rain is beautiful. So there have been, you must have read other poems about rain. If you have read them, please try to remember about what was it that the reason that was been given by the speaker or by the poet for calling rain beautiful. There must have been different reasons. Most of the reasons are natural and physical, and which are outside of you. For example, suddenly the garden has bloomed again, the flowers have come up again, you can see different kinds of birds and insects coming out, different forms of life suddenly have become extremely functional. And this is why you find rain extremely beautiful, right? But here, the reason why the rain is seen as beautiful, because rain has triggered that very beautiful memory of mother into the head of the speaker, which has caused the rain beautiful. Because rain is beautiful not because it is causing the flowers to bloom, of course that is one reason, but rain is also beautiful because it is causing the speaker to remember about his or her mother, which is extremely beautiful, right? Let us move on to the poem. And uh, there are three stanzas. I'll just read the poem. Please follow in your books. If you don't have the books, just listen to me. And if you have the books, that would be more better. If you have it somewhere in your corner of the room, please pick it up, sit down, and just listen and follow as I'm talking to you, as I'm reading out the poem. When the humid shadows hover over the starry spheres, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in raining tears, what a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. Every tinkle on the shingles has an echo in the heart, and a thousand dreamy fancies into busy being start, and a thousand recollections weave their air thread into woof as I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. Now in memory comes my mother, as she used in years agone, to regard the darling dreamers ere she left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond look on me as I listen to this refrain, which is placed upon the shingles by the patter of the rain. Okay, this is the poem. Let us try to interpret the poem stanza by stanza. Let us look at the first stanza. In the first stanza, there is a description of the rain falling over the roof. So you can imagine it. Now just try to imagine in your head that there is a cottage. Okay, what a cottage is, it's not a regular home. It's not a regular house which is made up of cement or something. Cottages are generally made up of wooden, and it would they would somewhere be situated in a remote or in a very quiet place. These are cottages are kind of resorts which you generally use for holidays. You can rent them out during the holiday, and they would not be situated into the hustle bustle of the city. They would be somewhere in a quiet corner of the city where the population is less, where you can actually keep a distance from the vehicle sounds of the vehicles and other and the busyness of the city life. So this is called a cottage. Is generally as a small cozy place which is generally made and as is usually made only to spend the leisure time. So since, as I told you, they are situated generally from the away, situated into the corner of a city or in a village or away from population, it is generally used to, spend holidays when you want to have some peaceful time with yourself or only with your family members. So you can imagine there is a cottage, and in the cottage, um, there the speaker is just lying and the rain has started falling, and he can listen to the sound of to the rain which is falling on the roof, and he finds it very nice to just catch hold of his pillow and sleep again. So yeah, that gives a very secure, a cozy, and a nice, beautiful feeling of understanding or of trying to listen to the drops of the rain falling on the roof. So let me just go through the stanza once again. When the humid shadow hovers over the starry sphere, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. So what has happened is that there is this humid shadow that has started hovering. You can imagine when it is about to rain, what will happen? The clouds will appear first of all, and when the clouds will appear, the sunshine will obviously go away, and this shadow which will be forming shadow because there is no sunshine. So because of the black clouds, that is a shadow that has been formed. It is humid because you can already feel some kind of wetness into the air. And what happens that when it starts raining, the melancholy darkness is just moving away. Melancholy because up till now there had been no rain, so there had been a feeling of melancholy. There had been a feeling of boredom. Of melancholy is something which is opposite of interesting. More melancholy is something which is it's a kind of disinterested feeling, that when one is not at all interested in anything, that is melancholy. Okay, one could be extremely melancholic. There are people who are called melancholic in nature because they are just disinterested in everything, and they find everything a waste of time and useless. Okay, so this melancholy feeling which is been into the atmosphere because of lack of rain, it could be a high temperature, it could be the hotness in the atmosphere, which generally we might not like after a certain period of time. Now this all has been wept away into the tears, as it generally weeps into the rainy tear, because that melancholy is just wept out. So when you cry, uh, along with your tears, the sadness is coming out. When you're sad, try crying out. I'm not saying, I'm not asking you to cry, but when you cry, you will always feel that if you're able to cry after a sadness, you feel a little lighter, because you have actually kind of taken some part of those negative emotions out of your body. That literally happens. Actually, it has a crying has a big psychological effect. Those who cry more are actually emotionally more intelligent, and those who withhold their feelings amongst within themselves, and those who are not able to come up with their emotions very easily, are emotionally very vulnerable. So here the metaphor of crying is being used because when this melancholy is it's been cried out. It is as if the raining drops, the drops of the rain are seen as the melancholy tears, because it is as if the negativity and the sadness and the melancholy and the disinterestedness has just been washed away. It has just been moving out. This is how the uh, the speaker is trying to explain you through metaphors that how is it that the early raining seems like to the speaker. What a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. Now, this is a very familiar feeling. Imagine that it has started raining and you are inside your home, and it will be very good for you, just to catch hold of a pillow and just lie down calmly and quietly, because that gives a very comforting feeling. And if I talk in Indian context, then with rains, what very generally comes up to our minds are chai and pakoras, because that also makes us feel at ease. Okay, so the first thing that comes to our mind is to just enjoy, relax, sit back and be comfortable and do nothing, right? This is what he's feeling. So this is the first stanza, which is about the coming of the rain. How with the coming up of the rain, the melancholy which was spread out in the atmosphere has just been wiped out into the along with the rainy drops, as if they were the tears of melancholy. And slowly and steadily, there is this happiness that is getting spread out in the atmosphere, and he feels that it is really bliss, that he is very happy to just get hold of a pillow and lie down quietly and listen to the music that is being created by the patter of the raindrops over the roof, because when the raindrops are striking with the roof, then they're making a noise, okay, making a sound, and that sound is so nice to hear. It's as if it's the music of the nature, and he's finding it's very comforting. That was the first stanza, very easy. Please read it again and see if you can make out the sense of it. Let us move on to the next one. In the second and the middle stanza, it reads out like that: every tingle on the shingles has an echo in the heart. Now, in this particular stanza, you find the speaker is talking about the psychological effect it is causing on him, right? So what is the psychological? That each and every drop which is actually striking on the roof, on every tinkle is a sound on the shingle is the overhead, the roof, that particular area. So each and every tinkle that is being created by the striking of the water drop with that shingle, it is creating an echo in the heart. Echo, what is echo? Echo is when your sound reverberates, the reverberation of the sound when you speak out something. Try doing it if you are standing on a uh, in a big hall, in a very big hall. You say something and the voice will come back to you, because the sound waves just move and they strike off with the opposite wall, they come back to you, so you can hear your voice once again. That is reverberation, that is an echo. So it is causing an echo, it is causing an echo in the heart, which means reverberation in the heart. And how is the reverberation happening? Coming back of certain memories in the heart. Okay, this is the psychological effect. Psychological effect is that as that sound is being heard, now that sound is causing some reactions in her heart, in his heart, and the heart is now started thinking about something that has happened in past. Some recollections are being made, okay. And a thousand dreamy fancies. Look at the use of the word, which a very beautiful use. A thousand of dreamy fancies. Those imaginations, fancies which are dreamy, which are still in my dream, into busy being start. They were somewhere in the dream, which means they were somewhere at the back of the head. They were not on surface. He was still not conscious of those fancies or of those imaginations which his mind is very easily capable of making. Now these all those fancies have started into action, they have got into the action, okay. They have started getting busy themselves, which means now all these recollections are coming onto the conscious level, and he's becoming more conscious of those recollections or of those memories. Onto busy being start weave their, and a thousand recollections weave their air thread into woof as I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. So as it happens now, it's like a reaction that has begun because of the sound of the rain, and thousands of the recollections are now coming up, and all these connections are you know uh, weave their air threads into woof. So it's like air threads which are woven into the woof. Woof is the upper part of your roof once again. So it is as if all those air threads um, which gets woven up to make a strong roof. Similarly, these all these memories are coming back into his mind, right? Now in the first stanza he's talked to you about the coming of the rain and how cozy it makes him feel. In the second stanza he talks about how is it that the sound of the rain and the coming of the rain has triggered thousands of fancies and dreamy fancies and recollections being into active. All of them have certainly become active. And in the third stanza, which is I believe is the most beautiful stanza of the poem, he talks very particularly, very specifically about what is the memory that comes into his mind. And then he says, now in memory comes my mother. So there would have been many memories that have come into the mind of the speaker, but now in memory comes my mother. Now when he is describing the poem at that time, and this is probably the fondest of the memories that he had, all these memories that he had, this is the fondest one, and this is the memory of the mother. And as she used in years agone to regard the darling dreamers, ere she left them till the dawn. So he's saying that that in the memory now the mother has come, like she used to be there many years back. So the memory is exactly what her mother was, or what his mother was many years back. So it is as if the memory has not faltered away, or it has not moved away from the way the mother looked like when probably when she was with the speaker, or probably when she was alive. We do not know. There is no confirmation. That's why I said I feel probably the mother is dead. You can have your own interpretation. Our next interpretation could be that probably mother is not able to stay with the speaker, and they have been staying apart for years together now. Okay, for years and years, the mother and the speaker are staying, they're not staying together, they're staying apart. And now, when the memory has come, the memory shows him his mother exactly the way she looked like many years back. Okay, as she used in years agone. Agone means gone by, many years that have passed by, to regard the darling dreamers ere she left them till the dawn. And to regard the darling dreamers. Who are the darling dreamers here? The darling dreamers are all those dreamers who think about their mother. It's not just about now, the speaker is talking about, it's not just about the speaker, it's about many of the people who start remembering about their mother when they look at the rain, or when it's raining outside. Remembering about mother is very natural. This is what the speaker is trying to tell us. So these are all the darlings dreamers. They are darling of their mothers. Darlings are loved ones. Each and every child is always a darling to his or her mother. So all these darling dreamers now are thinking about it. It's not, I'm not just saying that this is just one memory which is coming to speaker's mind. Is saying it might happen with a whole lot of people, and this is the psychological effect that human mind will naturally undergo, thinking about that one best person that all of us have in our life, and that one good person, the best person ever on this planet is your mother. So all of us, whenever something very beautiful take outside, the most beautiful thing that gets triggered into our heart is the memory of our mother. If she is around us, well and good. If she is not around us, even then, the memory of the mother will always remain the fondest memory ever. And then he says that it's not just me thinking about my mother, but all the darling dreamers are thinking about the mother. But ere she left them till the dawn. But that memory leaves them till the dawn. DAW, and dawn is the very early period of the morning. It is a time period just before the sunrise. So till the early morning, the memory had gone. And this could very well be a dream, because at that time, this could be an indication of how the speaker had just woken up from the sleep. So he says that up till that time, now the memory had. It's not that the memory would never go away. Of course, the dream can go away. It could very well be a dream also. So see, the point is not whether you start struggling about thinking whether it's a memory or a dream. The point you must understand is something which is symbolic. Here it's just a recollection and a fancy recollection of a mother. It could be a memory, it could be a dream also, because if you're dreaming about your mother, very well, it's a part, and part is, it's a part and parcel of your memory. It is nothing but a natural consequence of the very fondest thought that you have in your mind, and that fondest thought is of your mother, right? So don't just get stuck up with these ideas whether it's a dream or a fancy, it's a dream or a memory, but it's a recollection, it's an idea, it's a thought which just get triggers because something very beautiful has taken outside, and that has awakened a beautiful thing within me, or within the speaker, or within the darling dreamers, and that beautiful thing is the remembrance of the mother, either in the form of memory or in the form of dream. But the remembrance of the mother has quite woken up inside, right? Oh, I feel her fond look upon me as I listen to this refrain. So even till the dawn, the rain is still happening, and he now has woken up. The speaker has just woken up from the sleep. Even now, he can feel how mother very fondly used to look upon him. Very fondly, very lovingly, the mother used to look at the child. He still remembered that, and he says that as I'm listening to this beautiful song outside, I can still feel the beautiful look of my mother on me, and this beautiful song which is just played on the shingles by the patter of the rain. Patter is the sound that is being created by the rain on the shingles or on the roof above them. So this is what the poem was about, and there are some words which are being explained beyond the poem. You can just go through them also. Shingles, for example, here says that it's a rectangular wooden tiles used on the roof, which are generally to kind of hold the roof, and that's how the sound is created. So I have found personally this poem extremely beautiful, because it talks about not just the outside beauty, but within the beauty, the beauty which is within the human heart. Read this poem, and try to understand this poem, try to feel the poem. Most importantly is, whenever you read something, try to question yourself whether if you have been some kind of, you've been through this kind of experience or not. uh, we all have seen rain at some time or other. There wouldn't be anybody who would be able to say that no, I have never seen a rain. Rains have been witnessed by all of us. Just go back in that particular time, or just imagine what will happen if you feel rain. How is it? Because a poem is meant to upset certain emotions in you. Feel those emotions. Place yourself into that situation where the speaker is. Imagine yourself just lying down in a cottage and the rain is happening. Hmm? Or just try to go back in memory and think about how were you feeling when the rain happened to you last time. Did it actually, uh, did it try to instigate some memory in you? Well, it might not have been, because we all are blessed enough to stay with our mothers. But if not, it was the memory of your mother, then what kind of emotion was being generated into your heart? Did you feel any other kind of emotion? It might, I understand it might not be about your mother, but it could be something else. Or was it that you did not feel anything? It is not possible. You would have definitely feel, but then you're just not conscious of this feeling. So when you read a poem, try to become more consciousness of your own understanding, of life, of your psyche, of your mind, of the people around you, of the relationships that you have, and try to know yourself better. So this is what a poem should do to the reader. When you read a poem, it should have a psychological effect on you. So learn poem, enrich your vocabulary, enrich your knowledge of literature, but along that, also allow yourself to enrich as an individual, feel more, and become more perceptible to the things that are moving around you, that are happening around you, and just leave yourself, or allow yourself to feel the variety of emotions that keep happening to you in every other day. That is very important, because feeling life is more important than just reading a piece of poem for an examination. But then if you read it from that perspective, you will definitely enjoy the poem. So this is what my interpretation of the poem is. Please read the poem, and listen to the video time and again. If you need to, keep taking down notes, that will help you to understand the poem. And if you have any problem, please get back to me with your questions in the comment section below, and otherwise also you can contact me and get your doubts cleared, and I'll try to send you the assignment on this poem as soon as possible. So till then, keep watching the video, keep reading, keep enjoying, keep learning, and keep growing. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day ahead.